The legendary Puss in Boots finds that his swashbuckling adventures has taken a toll on him as he's burned through 8 of his 9 lives. Just when Puss is ready to hang up his boots, however, he learns about a magical wishing star capable of granting him 1 wish. However, Puss is not alone on this adventure, as other thieves and criminals are after the star too. This is DreamWorks Animation's Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is the latest film from DreamWorks Animation and is the sequel to 2011's Puss in Boots, the spin-off film from the Shrek franchise. Now, I haven't seen the 2011 Puss in Boots film in a long time, but I remember it being a fun, swashbuckling adventure. But it wasn't a film I was expecting to have a sequel 11 years later. I'm still waiting on that Megamind sequel, DreamWorks. You know what I want. However, for as random as a sequel as this film is, it's one of DreamWorks' best films. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is a beautifully animated film with a surprisingly compelling story with a cast of great characters. This is an amazing reintroduction to the world of Shrek. Playing Puss in Boots, as he has done for almost 20 years, is Antonio Banderas. And his performance as Puss in Boots has always been a shining spot in even the worst of Shrek films. I am, of course, really only talking about Shrek the Third, because 4 is okay. Antonio Banderas just plays this swashbuckling hero type so well, all the while playing a really good cat character, because these films really hammer home that Puss in Boots, while a legendary outlaw, is still a cat. And I really enjoyed that about the performance and the character a whole lot. Aside from Puss in Boots, the only returning character from the 2011 film is Kitty Softpaws, once again played by Selma Hayek. And she has a really good dynamic with Antonio Banderas in this film. And not just because they've starred in the same movie before. I just think them and their characters' dynamics work really well for a film like this. They have a good rivalry with one another. And a will they won't they kind of romance. Not that I'm shipping 2 cats, of course. But this film has an equally strong supporting cast too. You have Harvey Guillen playing Perro the dog, which just translates to Dog the dog, but this is the same franchise that has Donkey the donkey, so I can forgive it. Surprisingly, however, a lot of the supporting cast is taken up by antagonists. 2 of which being Goldilocks, played by Florence Pugh, and Jack Horner, played by John Mulaney. I thought their voice performances were great, and I thought their characters fit perfectly within the semi-scuffed fairy tale world that Shrek has made itself popular for. Shrek was always intended to be a subversion of Disney's happily ever after tropes. However, my absolute favorite of the film's 3 villains is Wagner Moura as Wolf. And now, I know what you're thinking. We already saw the big bad wolf in Shrek. You're right. They take this character to a level I was not expecting at all. He is without a doubt one of the most terrifying animated villains we've gotten in film in a long time, and easily one of my favorites too. And the thing that I think surprised everyone with this film, especially when the trailers dropped, was the animation. Because if you compare the animation of this film to the 2011 film, it's night and day. I don't think it's any secret that this film is taking inspiration from Into the Spider-Verse, but to be brutally honest, I don't really care. This film breathes new life into the Shrek franchise, which was something I did not exactly think was possible. Shrek, I love the films, 3 of them, but they were definitely a product of the 2000s. But now I would absolutely love to see a Shrek film with this kind of animation. It is just so fast-paced and full of color and expressive. It is beautiful. And plus, action scenes in animated films are always something I am going to love. Unlike some other films currently playing in theaters right now, beautiful visuals are not the film's only merit. To my surprise, the story of this film is a lot deeper than you would expect. Since the film is about Puss on the last of his 9 lives, there are some heavy themes about death and mortality throughout this film. Because you see a side of Puss in this film that I don't think we ever really saw in any of the Shrek films that he's in. And it just makes for an insanely emotional and complex story that I don't think I would have expected from DreamWorks in 1,000 years. Remember, this is DreamWorks we're talking about here. The Boss Baby people, the Shark Tale people, the B-movie people. I was just so genuinely impressed with the story of this film. If I wanted to get nitpicky, I guess I could say I wish the film had some better music. The Shrek films are known for their music. All-star, holding out for a hero, banger songs, in banger scenes. However, I don't think this film would work as well with the latest pop song playing in the background, so pick your poison. But this is probably, without a doubt, the most impressed with a film I've been all year. DreamWorks could have absolutely half-assed this film, but they didn't. I'm just so shocked by how much love and care went into this film, from the beautiful animation to the surprisingly moving story to the great characters. This is absolutely one of DreamWorks' best films, one of my favorite animated films of the year, and quite possibly one of my favorite films of the year, period. And you don't even have to see the first film to understand this film. You can go into this film with zero knowledge and enjoy the film probably the exact same way I did. But I can absolutely recommend you check this film out. It is surprisingly well worth your time. I hope you all enjoyed this review, and if you did, please consider hitting that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Oh, and by the way, check out the website. Until next time, I'm Quentin Dunaway, hoping you will keep it cinematic.